Ciao traders. So today I do not have questions to answer, so I'm gonna make the question the most simple and most fundamental question. What is trading? And the side I take the two sides. The one side is the system and the other side is the nature. System and nature. But for the information, when we go back in time a little bit and start thinking why the opportunity is created in the first place. So most likely, for example, if you have a budget and you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna go in the market, trade and made some more. So the most likely it's gonna be taken away. Most likely you will lose it. And that's how everything is developing by day one. By noise, manipulation, grabbing, taking, the force, everything is there to take away from you. Rich get richer and the poor get poorer by system way of thinking. That's for me the fundamental thing underneath, very deep down here. It's been taken away. The first development thing. But here, what we have a structure, no doubt. So let's go here. So by nature, when we going higher, it is a growth. We are growing higher, and when we going lower, it is a struggling. And then we have equilibrium here too. And every single time when we go higher, we have a great opportunity to go lower. Same time when we're going lower, we have great opportunity to go higher. So that's the pure form of structure by nature. For example, the opposite side. So what is happening here when the system is doing that? What we're seeing every single day. We have a structure. So when the structure is going like that, but then structure is doing going back in the same point, and then structure is moving higher. So you can see how the price is making all that noise there. And all that noise is supported by system laws. Same thing with the downside. Price doing that. You can see the same momentums here. Same noise. And here you can see you have the same noise here. And the opposite side, you have nice, clean movements, how it should be. Like tick, 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 tick. That's how it is by nature. But here we have something what we have to understand. Because we have all those system laws, we have to understand all those laws are made by human. And because of that, we have a human behavior behind it. That's the key. It is super important to realize that we have the human behavior behind it. So because of that, sooner or later, somewhere, sometime, something is gonna be respected or disrespected. And what is happening when that something gonna be respected, we are moving higher. And when then something's gonna be disrespected, we're moving lower. Very simple by logic. So when those laws are respected, structure is moving higher. When it's disrespected, the structure is moving lower. And why? It's because of energy. And inside that energy, it behave the same human behavior. Same behavior what you can see through your life since day one. Your kindergarten, your school, your friends, and so on. You see the same behaving happen everywhere. And it's still there. Most likely it's gonna be there forever too. So on the moment we already have a pretty good understanding what is happening by system in the charts every day. There is bunch of noise and bunch of manipulation, but sooner or later all this noise or manipulation is gonna be disrespected or respected. Like no doubt there is gonna be the time. And most likely because of the behave, it shows a pattern to us. It's very important. Like for example, let's take for example here, you can see how the price is bouncing here, and now you can see here how the price is making the movement, and goes back in the same moment. So now if I delete this one here and put this one, so you can see the original movement, what the market supposed to do was going here, do the same retest and start going higher. That is what we just did here. What we just did here. So the meaning is, let me zoom in. So the meaning is all this since that moment, since this moment, this here was the purest form of the manipulation. There was no needed to have the second bounce here. The original movement by nature is here, here, and we go straight through that, the point here, move down and keep going higher. The second movement here, it wasn't necessary at all, but because of the system, manipulation, grabbing, taking, the second one was created here. But now, somewhere, somehow, sooner or later, those behaving is gonna be respected or disrespected. And here we can see the behave is respected by W pattern. So the whole movement, the whole idea, the growth, how we started, it is respected. And the price is moving, bounce, 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 nicely higher. That's what the market is all about every single day, every single opportunity what you want to take. That's why in the system way of looking, you need to have a strong discipline, your own discipline, what is reflecting your patience. More stronger is your daily discipline, the more patient you are. So the meaning is the more deeper you can go with your thinking and understand what the system are doing with our mind, how the system is manipulating with our mind right now. Because in the moment here, for example, let's go back in the same place. Like, for example, here, if you look in the pure structure, that was a very good buy, the place to start buying. But you can see every single buyer take out. And now we have a pattern, and now price going above, retest, and start going higher. So there was one more pounce. But if you wasn't patient enough, what shows us there was weak discipline, you're starting blaming yourself and everybody else, but not you. And that is a big mistake by self-developmenting. Because you're judging yourself, and that's a poor mindset. It's not healthy and it's not growth, it is a struggle. And so let's go a bit more deeper here. So the system, who is taking your stuff? Most likely it's banks and the institutes. But even they are fighting with each other. Everyone is in the war there. But because they have so much more power, let's say that, they can move the market. That's something what we don't have. But we have discipline and patience to realize that and just step back. No rush. There's no rush to look where you can trade. The thing is, we are not looking to trade, we are waiting to trade. But for example, inside that mindset, to realize what the system is doing, for example, in the bank, and there is a person who is thinking, oh, I need a new house. Well, for example, I need a new house. What that person is doing. So the next day, when he is going work or whatever the place is, that is his mind. New house. So the new house already tells what to us. The people is living in the material reality. So the meaning is he's going to the workplace and he's doing whatever is necessary to make that kind of material. And money is a material here. To make that money. Meaning there is no care at all. Not even the slightest chance. There is no caring. So the market, what we see today here, there is no caring. So if you're here and you're hoping your trade is gonna go in blue or green, it's not gonna go, because the market is developing by that. There is no caring inside. So it's never gonna happen. So for example, you are here with your budget and thinking, oh, let's do some let's do some profit. And then that dude is here with the mind, I need a new house. So that person is gonna take everything what you have, because that person don't care. But the thing is, that person is controlling the market because he can do it. So every single opportunity where it is possible to manipulate or to put noise in the market, those boys who don't care, they are doing it every single day, every single time. So that's the reality in the trading, what you can feel and see. By system, they don't care. Whatever you have, just we gonna take it. That's the system who is owning the markets. They are developing the markets, and whatever you have, they're gonna take it. Absolutely no problem. But this sector here is war with each other all the time. So that's why we have opportunity too. We have to understand how those people are playing the game. And because of the patience and discipline, we just look it back, we take our own emotions out, and we just look. We individual people, we have absolutely almost nothing else to do there. Otherwise, without no kind of plan, you're just gonna donate your money on those people here who don't care anything, and they are living in the material reality where the material for them is or anything like that's what they want, nothing else. More. So by nature sides, if you're looking the trading, so what is the reality. So if you're here and you understand, or you try to understand, so the first thing what we have to understand is the greatest challenge what we have is to understand what is the system. That's the greatest challenge what we have, is to understand the system. Without knowledge what the system is doing or planning or developing, it's very hard to be a profitable trader, I think. Okay, one side more. Here, inside the noise is it's all those cookie short boys too. Like every single strategy trader, all those YouTube crazy dudes, all those Lamborghinis and Ferrari boys, those are all massive, massive noise. Like it's the greatest massive noise ever there. Because the whole life, the whole society, the most of it is living paycheck by paycheck. So every single shiny material reality is acting like a magnet. So all those crazy YouTube boys, strategy boys, all those courses boys, it's all created by system to bring in more people, and more. Like we say, more and more and more. The whole noise is there. So just try to, if you're looking someone, try to understand who who those person are. It's very important because I was inside that a long time, more than a year, buying courses and learning to try understand what is going on here, and then I realize exactly what I just said. But here it's really important to understanding the system, because you want to be a trader, you cannot, like, at least for right now, we cannot move the market or make the master moves by our by individual selves. It's impossible. If you can trade with the billions, why not? You can make some crazy awesome movements, but we cannot do that. So we have to learn how the system is moving. Like we have to understand basically every single thing, because when the system is making the movement, you have to ride with that movement. Otherwise, you will be the opposite side. Like we have to go with the system. That's unfortunate thing, but the system is developing and creating the whole industry of trading. So we have to follow it. Otherwise, we gonna be the opposite side. Where is the losing side? At least now. But we have to understand the greatest challenge what we have is the system. So we know already we have in the system, we have the system laws. In the system, we have banks. In the system, we have massive greed. In the system, we have material reality. All those, tiny bits there and there, it's all inside here. But in the system, we have one. In the system, one second. System has a great weak point, and it is the human behavior. because it's all made by human, by people, by group. It's all made so we can read it. No doubt. And the nature side, we have respect and disrespect. Very simple. Respect and disrespect. Very simple. So those, they are in relationship. Sooner or later, this behaving moment, what the market is creating, sooner or later the behave is gonna be respected or disrespected. Sooner or later, somewhere, somehow. That's why we are patient. So we have system with all this crazy stuff there. And overall, if you look in the system, you understand the system is so big actually, like the whole world. Since day one, when we are born here, you've been labeled, you've been, by your ID number and all those numbers. Like, come on, day one you've been numbered. Like that doesn't sound like nature. Then you're going, oh, bank, and then school, and then you have to work, and then the work is paying you enough to be, the workplace is paying you enough to you show up tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Otherwise, if the work is paying you too much, you have too much freedom, and then you go there and there and there. There is another new level there. So we have this one there. So when we go nature, let's do here. So what we have nature. So we have here patterns. So when those human behavior points in the system, so that the behaving is going thing up and down, up and down, up and down. Sooner or later, it's form a pattern what is gonna be respected or disrespected. So for us, we are patient. We are patient. When we have a pattern, patient again. Sooner or later, this pattern is gonna be respected or disrespected. Price is going higher. Movement. And now, for example, price is bouncing. We are patient, patient, patient. Price is going. What? I cannot go in. I cannot go right. So now we can see here. I made the pattern. So we are patient, patient, patient. Price is creating a pattern. We break above it, and we are retesting it. We are retesting it, meaning we are respecting it. And that's our opportunity. That's the place where we enter, and we are going back where is the original idea. So why the most likely we are going back in here? That's how we start learning. And why we go back here? Because you can say now, oh, the price is going much more higher, for example. So that's, for example, let's say this is your entry point and your take profit gonna be back to the high, but then we know already price is gonna go higher because that's the structure. But that's the thing, the discipline and patience. If you are trader who is looking here, we are not paced by greed and grabbing. we just take this opportunity here and we let it go. Because another day is another opportunity. Of course, if you've been trading years and years, like for example, the last trade what I take, like it's a massive trade. Like it's a massive trade. But you can see, for example, the whole trade was already 6 days. But the reason why I take that trade, there was information for so many years together. Like there was years and years and years and years of information. The first, when I enter here, my TP was here. But then, because first I enter here, I didn't have the all information. In the moment when the price was here, I have so much more information. But because I have now this information, this behaving, I can now see more what it is the actual developmenting. So I just let it go and move the price to 4,000 flat. So it's a very logical moment. It's not the greed at all. Greed is when you enter here with very strong lot size. When you enter here very strong lot size and you're taking your trade out already here. That's a massive greed, or that's the pressure what you cannot hold, meaning self-developmenting needs development. But there is a lot of those questions, but those questions still can be in your mind. If you've been trading so many years, you will understand all those movements. But here, that's how you learn to understand why those movements are taking place in first place. This is already when you see the patterns and the way, and you see just so much more deeper, and you see the idea behind it. For example, the idea is going the deeper by levels every single time. Like it is psychology and like it is philosophy. More deeper you can see, more levels you can understand. You can calculate all the relationship between the levels to understanding what is going on. This is super important to understand, and that's what I'm trying to show to you, to actually to understand, to take those trades, the big ones, because why not? That's the whole reason. So here by nature, so by growth, for example, if you wanna growth, so growth, it is by energy, your own consciousness. But the thing is, your own consciousness and your own energy and you is, one sec, here. So there is the consciousness and there is you. one thing what we have to understand is the consciousness is guiding you, and you are guiding consciousness. What is equal? A healthy mindset. Again, very simple thing, but it's helping you a lot. It's a healthy mindset. With a healthy mindset, you can see through that noise. It's necessary skill set or tool in your toolbox to see through that. I think it's a very necessary to see through that noise, because otherwise you're going up and down, up and down. You trade that, you're trading that, you're trading that. You're looking that time frame, that time frame, that time frame. Then you have so much noise, and you don't even remember your first idea or your first thinking. Or maybe this wanna go sell, or maybe all those thinkings. Like that's already too much, and it's not healthy mindset. It is a struggling mindset. It's it is struggling mindset. It is a struggling mindset. So let's do something here. Let's zoom in here. So if we have like more questions about this overall, this topic here, can we change time frame? 1 hour. If we have questions about this topic here, just leave in the comments, and I can talk more. The thing is, that's the information what is in my mind, and that's how I see the trading. Like those are my calculations, what I'm doing when I'm looking the markets to understand what is going on. Sometimes I have to go deep down and thinking about the first development thing. Sometimes I'm catching straight the flow and I already know what I'm waiting or looking. Sometimes you go in the middle. Like every day is a different. It is a different vibe. Every day is different. Here, like for example, the same. Where this one here. Okay, the time frame is now a little bit different, but like here. So here we can see where we have this moment here. So this moment is the price is going here, bouncing, and start going higher. So that's the idea, and that's the growth. And you can see again, this whole movement, it wasn't necessary to do by the pure structure. But you can see it was there, and you can see you have another W what was respected, and price was going higher. And here you can see, if you put this one bounce here, the price was respecting and going after that bounce, bounce, bounce higher again. And here you can see how the first development is starting. that was the start of the movement. Here you can see the price going bounce, bounce, bounce. That's how the price is going. So here you can see you have the purest form of the structure, but here you can see all those tiny little movements, that direction and that direction and that direction. And then you can see you have the first pattern here, you have second pattern here, you have a pattern here again, you have a pattern here again, you have a pattern inside here. You can see you have all those patterns there, and they all are respected, respected, respected. Here you can see we are disrespecting the structure, and the price is making another movement, and then almost immediately we are respecting and going opposite sides. So it's so crazy yin yang there. It's just twisting everything, all existing totally opposite side very fast. And this is the huge confusion what people have after seeing this movement, especially when you don't realize in the moment what the price is actually doing. So if you don't understand the way what we just did here, you will be super confused there, and in that moment everything is possible in the human mind. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, listening, and I will see every single one in the next video. Thank you, and ciao.